Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create, launch and sell a digital product. Now we've all heard everyone talking about the importance of a digital product. So I want to break it down for you so you can understand exactly how you can get started with it and the potential opportunities that you can create for yourself using digital products. Now there's three parts to actually building your digital product. You need to create it, which we'll go through in a second. You're going to need to launch it, of course, and start marketing the actual product that you've come up with. And then you're going to need to sell it to the audience that you've picked. So why do I think digital products are the best business model? Now, personally, the reasons that I love digital products is because they're low cost, they're high leverage, and once you build them, you can keep making your money. You can sell knowledge like consulting and coaching, which is stuff that I do. You can sell any skills that you have if you want to provide services. Or you can even sell systems that you already use. So if you have templates, if you use certain databases, Notion stuff, all of that you can actually make as a template and sell as a digital product to an audience. And the best part about this is you don't need a big audience, you just need the right offer. Now, there's three parts that are key in selling any type of product. And that is you need to have leverage, which essentially is you being able to sell something at a high volume with as little effort as possible because you're able to scale it or you have a team that can help you with it. That is you creating leverage. The other thing you want to have is it's low cost. Digital products, it's all online. You have to just create it once and then you either sell it as a repeatable thing or you give up your time for it if you're doing coaching or consulting or selling a service. But it's still low cost in terms of the financial aspect. It's not like you have to have stock of a physical product and then that is going to take into your margin and it's going to be a big expense. It's very low cost. And the third factor is it's very scalable. Now, once you make a digital product, especially if it's like a template, you can sell that as many times as you want. If it's a service or if it's a coaching offer, you can sell that for as long as you have the time and you want to give those hours to actually selling it to your audience. So it's very scalable. You can do it from anywhere. You can do it on your laptop, whether it's creating a one-off thing or if it's giving a repeatable service, but it's definitely one of the most scalable options that you can do in regards to a business. So step one is you want to choose a profitable idea. Now this is very important because there are many different types of digital products that you can create, but if it's not going to be a profitable idea, if it's not going to be something that the market wants, it's probably not going to be something that's going to make you a lot of money. So you want to start with what you know. Essentially, something that you may have solved for yourself already. A lot of the times you can look back at what you currently do and whether it's a current job you have, whether it's a business you're already doing, a problem that you've already managed to solve for yourself, probably other people have that same problem. So that's one thing that you can come up with as an idea very quickly. The best products also solve small and specific problems. Don't try and cater to solving everything because digital products will then be too broad. If you solve a specific problem that you know people have, but it's something that is annoying for them, then you're able to create something more specific to them and you're able to create content or market it in a way that is targeting them and they'll feel like you're talking to their actual needs that they have with that small problem that is repeating their struggles. Now, for example, if you're good with workflow, you can create a Notion template. I've created a lot of Notion templates before. That's a really good way where you can sell something low ticket. If you're good with Google Sheets, you can also template that. If you've learned how to grow on social media platforms, you can turn that into a mini guide. You can turn that into services and consulting. If you have a skill, you can turn that into a digital product. Now, your goal isn't to impress everyone. It's to help one type of person with one clear problem. The first thing you want to look at is what are your current skills? We all have something that's an existing skill that we have. You may not think you have anything specific, but like I mentioned before, look back at things you've already done for yourself, problems you've solved, or even an existing job or a previous job that you've done that you know required a specific skill set that other people might pay to learn. You want to make sure it's a growing market. This is very important. You don't want to sell to a market that's declining every single month, every single year. You want to make sure it's something that's either staying as is or continuously growing. Don't go for a market that is slowly dying, because then you're not going to be able to sell to a large enough audience. The third thing you want to look at is you want to make sure people have this specific problem. Look at people's problems. If you can find something that tackles all of these three areas, a skill you have, a growing market, and also solving people's problems, that is where you're going to be able to then have your digital product in the middle right there. That's how you give yourself the best chance to sell as much as possible and grow the business. Now, step 2 is build it, but be fast. People overthink doing digital products or starting something for themselves. Don't overthink it. You can build your first product in literally a week. Like I said, you can template something, you can start to offer a service today, to be honest. And you want to use tools that you already know. Don't overcomplicate it with, what should I use, what software's out there, because there are so many out there, especially with AI tools these days. There is hundreds and hundreds of different tools. But just use ones you already know. Google Docs, Canva, like I'm using right now. Notion, record yourself in a video format using Loom to share your screen. Keep it simple, clean, and valuable. People appreciate simplicity. And if you look at today's content, people are actually going back to more simple, value-driven content. They're not now going for that overcomplicated edits anymore as much as they used to over the past couple of years. So sometimes simple is key. And please make sure you focus more on outcome than design. People buy results, not fancy PDFs. So many of us, myself included, I used to do this a lot, would focus and spend so much time designing things, making it look as pretty as possible and perfecting every little detail. And then you don't spend enough time marketing it or actually doing your market research, and then you don't end up selling much at all. If you keep things simple and you focus on the outcome you're providing rather than the design itself, I promise you will sell more than if someone focuses on the design but not the outcome. And you can always fix the design in the future. If you know you have a very good product that's going to give someone a strong outcome, the design can always be improved later, and the customers will not really care that much anyway, because you're being able to promise them something that they can solve for themselves. Now, there's 3 things that you want to do in regards to building it fast. You want to outline your content. You want to see what's going to be included in this digital product. You want to design, record, or you want to start making booking calendar events. So if you're doing a digital product like a template, you want to focus on designing. If you're selling something like a small video course, you want to record it. If it's something like consulting or coaching, you want to set up a booking system where people can book calls with you and start these consultation calls. So just focus on which of these 3 are you going to focus on once you outline the content and the impact and outcome you're going to give your audience. And then once you do that, step 3 is actually publicizing it, uploading it, and then starting your marketing. Having something that is done is always going to be better than something that is trying to be perfect, because you're never going to reach perfect. But if you get something done, you can put it out into the market, figure out and get some feedback, figure out what they like and don't like, and then improve from there. Step 3 is you need to set up a sales system. Now, I'm not talking about something complicated where you have to get salespeople on board and stuff like that. All I'm talking about is just having a good landing page. You don't need a website or a fancy funnel. All you need is a platform like Stanstore, Gumroad, or Calendly if you're doing coaching. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to set up a full 5-step funnel just yet. That's later down the line, once you've actually built a product and you're trying to scale even more. All you need is one clear headline. All you need is one clear headline, a clear promise, and a call to action. Here you can see an example of what you need to include in your landing page, no matter which of the applications you use, whether it's Stanstore, Gumroad, any other web page builder or landing page builder, you can have this similar layout. And most of them have templates that will give you this anyway. So you need to start off with a clear headline. Usually the headline will either talk about the promise and the outcome you're delivering, or the problem that they currently have and you're touching on that pain point. That's usually what the headline will consist of. Then you want to have a sub-headline, which is going to mention what you're actually going to be providing and the result that you can give them with what you're providing. Usually after that, people will have an image either showing the product that you're selling or showing a pain point that they might have or the outcome that they're going to get. Then mention benefits. Put dot points, just what they're going to benefit from if they do purchase this digital product. If it's a template, talk about the time that they will save having to just copy paste a template and use it for their workflow. If it's consulting calls, talk about the benefits that they're going to receive from your calls, from the coaching calls, and how you're going to be able to give them that one-on-one help to solve their specific problems. This is where you mention the problems that it solves. When you mention the benefits, you want to talk about what problem that your audience have that you already know that you're going to help them overcome. Then after that, you want to simply just have a buy now button, and that is as simple as your landing page needs to be. Like I said, do not focus on anything fancy, just focus on having your message as clear as possible and targeting that specific audience. Now, step 4 is my favorite part, which is marketing. With marketing, the easiest way to sell your first digital product is using content. For myself, I started selling my consulting when I started posting on short form content on Instagram, and also now I'm focusing a lot more on YouTube content, like what I'm doing right here, to provide value as much as possible and then have people wanting to take me up on my consulting offers. Content builds trust. That is the best way you're going to build trust with an audience. You can also do paid ads if you have the finances and you have the extra cash. Paid ads is also another really good avenue where you can get feedback and results quickly. The other options are cold outreach. If you want to send DMs, send emails to people one-on-one, that is also a really good way to get your first few products or services sold. But for me, in terms of building trust, building value, and just a good reputation and a personal brand for yourself, content is the way to focus. Now, you can start off by just creating short form videos or posts that teach one small piece of your product's topic. And at the end, you can say something like, if you want the full system, grab my guide, grab my template, book a call. So you're just giving them a little piece of what you're offering to show them that there is value in what you're talking about, but then you want to then upsell them into your actual product or service. And start on one platform. You don't have to go on every single social media app straight away. You can start with just YouTube if you want to do tutorial-based stuff like this. You can go on Instagram if you just want to focus on nice, short, 1-minute videos or a couple-minute videos, especially if you're not someone who's too confident talking for too long. Short form is usually a better place to start. And then you can also obviously just post similar videos on TikTok if you post them on Instagram. And if you're someone who just doesn't want to do video just yet, LinkedIn is another really good one where you can post written, good, solid, value-driven written pieces of content. Pick one of them, start on one, and then you can look at introducing a second. For me, my current focus is YouTube. I want to do these long-form tutorials, and that's what I'm focusing on right now. But I do also dabble a little bit with Instagram because sometimes if I just have a very good, quick idea that I want to just talk about, I can just very easily post that there. So just pick on what suits you and your personality best and how much you can give the most, where you can give the most value. And please stay consistent for at least 30 days. Don't just post one video, think that it's not doing well and stop. You're never going to get results like that. You need to stick to something for at least a month, 2 months, 3 months of consistency. I'm not saying you have to post 1 or 2 a day, just at least it's like, 3 or 4 times a week if it's short form content, or 1 a week YouTube long form videos. Just stay consistent for at least a few months to then start to get that feedback from your audience. Now this is going to be what your funnel is going to look like when you've put all of this in process and in action. You're going to have your content at the start. That's going to be what everyone sees for free. The value you're going to be able to provide, the tips, the tutorials, the problems you're solving in video form, in written form. You're going to talk specifically to your audience that you've decided to sell to. make sure in your content you talk to your audience. If you're trying to sell consulting, make sure you're speaking to that. Let's say, for example, you're doing fitness consulting. You want to talk to a specific audience. So if you're someone who wants to coach males between the ages of 20 and 30 on how to get in better shape, talk about their pain points, talk about how building their physique is going to be very important to finding a spouse, or presenting themselves better in certain areas in public or whatever it might be, or just looking jacked in the gym. Talk about what you know they care about. And then from after your content and you're talking to your specific audience, you send them straight to your sales page or your link or wherever you want to book them or sell them, where you're offering your digital product. Step 5 is going to be feedback and improvements. The quicker you do the other steps, the quicker you're going to get feedback from the market. Once you've sold a few copies, just simply ask buyers. Ask them what helped them the most, and then update it, focus more specifically on it, improve it, and then relaunch again. So every time you sell a copy of your digital product or a consulting call or a service, when you've delivered and you've given them the outcome you've promised, ask them what they like the most, what they maybe would like to see improved, and always iterate and update your actual business model and your product to then continuously make it better and better to get more people on board. Every iteration will make it more valuable. If you're not going to ask customers for their feedback, then you're not going to know where you need to improve. So it's very important you do that, but you can't do that unless you start to market it as quickly as possible. So put it out there into the public. Don't focus on having a perfect product, because you will improve it as people give you their feedback. And this is going to be what the feedback loop looks like. You're going to create your service or product. You're going to sell it to the market. You're going to learn exactly what they like and don't like and what worked and didn't work. And then you're going to improve it, and then the cycle continues. That's going to be the feedback loop that you need to focus on. So that is a 5-step process on how to build a digital product and start to sell it to the market. Don't overthink it. Start to get things going as soon as possible. Implement these steps that I've walked you through, and get going as quickly as you can. Because the sooner you do that, the sooner you get that feedback loop that I showed you, and then you'll be able to scale as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.